there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Da-da-da. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Thanks so much for stopping in or checking in, stopping by. Sure you're familiar with what we're doing here. We're going on a little neighborhood stroll just to get Apollo some exercise, a little walk. And yeah, that's what we're doing. I initially was like, oh, we'll go to the open space today, but work has been a little busy only because we've been doing some site visits recently. So essentially we do like a tour and the hiring managers or the supervisors will walk us through kind of what their team does. And we've been doing those every week for like the past 3 weeks, and it's fine. But if there's other work to be done, you kind of just have to work longer hours because a lot of this stuff is out in the field. So it's not like I'm behind a desk or with my computer. I am like out and about all over town. And so I don't have the opportunity to actually like get work done. So unfortunately, we've just been doing a lot more neighborhood walks. So it's okay though. We've been doing longer ones to make up for it. So it seems to be fine. Apollo doesn't seem to mind as long as we get outside. By usually around 4:15 is his cutoff of we must be outside now because I get done with work at 4. So he knows when it's time to do the thing. So that is what we're doing today. I don't know how long I'll keep you on just because it has only been a few days since my last vlog. So I don't have a ton to cover with you, but I did want to just film a little bit of it. I did have one particular topic in mind, of course. So yeah, I hope things are going well. Other than work, that's really all that's been going on with me, just hanging with Apollo and working and coming home and diamond painting and sleeping. So that's really about it. I may try to go get some dinner at some point tonight. I've just, once again, not super hungry in the evenings. So when I got home, today was an in-office day. Well, it was a field day, I guess I'll call it that. I was out in the field. But when I got home, I made myself a little small snack sandwich, like a little tortilla wrap kind of thing, a few hours ago. So I'm not particularly hungry, but I should get some kind of protein in my body because I didn't have breakfast or lunch either. So I should probably get some sort of protein in my body. So I'll probably try to scrounge around and find something. Come on, let's go. And then I ended up enrolling back into HelloFresh because I feel like every time I go to the grocery store, I just need to go with a plan in mind. But I've been going to the grocery store and then I end up just getting like a bunch of snacky stuff. I think it's because I'm not like, I don't know what it is, but I've been ending up with like little snacky stuff, like a bag of popcorn, like a Smart Pop, and like a few other things. I'm like, none of this is an actual meal. Like I can't just survive off of a on sale vegetable platter and a bag of Smart Pop. So I've got to figure that out. So I ordered HelloFresh. That way I could start prepping some meals again. Come on, buddy. Start prepping meals again or start making meals again and just get back into the habit of like having an actual meal. Because I don't think this is very sustainable. All right. Let's see if we can avoid as many people as possible. I think because this neighborhood's getting kind of, I guess gentrified is the best word I can use. There's just a lot of these kind of, just square apartments that are popping up all over the place, and little like townhomes like a couple blocks away. And so we're just seeing more and more people out with their dogs and stuff, whereas last year I didn't see as many. But it's becoming more and more prevalent as more and more people cram themselves into like every inch of Denver. But anyway, this way. Come on. When we move to Golden, you'll see a ton more people than this. I'm complaining about like the 6 people, but over there it's like, howdy neighbor, hey neighbor, taking the dogs out neighbor. It's just a ton of people, just always out and active. So anyway, come on, this way. But we're gonna try to sneak our way out of this little neighborhood and go into the other one where there typically is a lot less people. But yeah, so I hope everyone's doing well. I already said that like 3 times. But outside of work, nothing crazy. Just what you see right here in front of you. Just walking and hanging out with the boy. The HelloFresh stuff's coming in. Get back on track with that. The one thing I have been doing is drinking a ton more water. Come on. A ton more water. Like at work, I've just been trying to commit to like drinking 3 of my what is it called? My little shaker blender bottle thing. 3 of those per day. And then when I get home, all I really have is water or coffee or tea, mainly water and tea. Hold on. Okay, sorry. So yeah, mainly water and tea at home. So I've just been drinking more water, and I don't know why. Other than just trying to develop some more healthy habits, I guess, is the reason why. But yeah, I could not live in like a crowded city. Like even passing by like 10 people on my walk makes me anxious. Not anxious, makes me annoyed. It's just like I just want just a little bit of peace and quiet. But yeah, I couldn't imagine like trying to take Apollo like on a walk in like the heart of a down. I just don't know. I don't know how people keep like big dogs in like, New York or something like that. I'm just like, where do you go? Where do you go with a big dog? Where do they poop? I guess there's probably plenty of little parks and stuff, or maybe little dog parks, but I couldn't imagine like just bumping into people trying to cross the street. Couldn't do it. Golden's gonna be even an adjustment for me because last time I lived in Golden, A, I didn't have Apollo, and B, we weren't right downtown. We were in Golden, or I was in Golden, but kind of, you're heading out of town, I guess, and kind of up the hill a little bit, kind of up in the mountain, North Table, South Table, sorry. Just kind of perched up there a little bit, but this is going to be like right in town, maybe 6 blocks from like the downtown drag where I've taken you near there before. So there's just going to be more people, and people are really active in Golden, so there's going to be a lot more people walking with their dogs and running with their dogs and stuff. So we'll see how many outdoor vlogs or little chats like this I'm able to do, just because I always clam up when I have to cross people. Come on. But anyway, so yeah, not a ton of updates on life stuff whatsoever. Mainly just diamond painting stuff. So yeah, we'll just get right into it. So as far as whips go, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering all this now. It's gotten out of hand. Let's talk about the stuff that is kitted up, not started. Sunset Crossing, by Craftively. We have The Astronomer by Miles Pinkney and Diamond Art Club, so I'll be starting that January 1st. And I got my specialty drills in, and I need to, I got my specialty drills in for that from Tmall, DP with Sparklers. Those are kitted up, and then I was cleaning out, I'm trying to like clean up for the move, and I saved all of my square AB drills. I used to save them all, but I think I'm gonna get rid of that set of storage containers because it's just taking up room and I don't use them very often. But what I did find in there as I was going through them is I have AB glow drills that I did not realize I had. They're like, you know, that glow in the dark white with like that slight kind of green tinge, you know. But I have a bunch of those. I don't know where I got them, but I'm gonna swap those out for the regular ABs, white ABs in that kit for the stars, so the stars will glow. So I'm gonna kit those up into that storage container, and that should be that for that kit. And then I can get rid of the rest of my square ABs, because it's an entire drawer in a storage, like a 3-tiered storage drawer set, an entire drawer filled with little containers with every single DMC color on it, just reserved for my square ABs. And I think I have like 8 or 9 of the containers have drills in them, and the rest is just empty. And I'm like, there's no way I'll ever have every DMC color of AB. And then it gets kind of wonky because Diamond Art Club uses their own little coding system for their ABs, or numbering system. So it's like, then I have to go and do the conversion. And I already got rid of my round AB storage set. So I'm like, why am I holding on to these squares? So I'm gonna get rid of those probably tonight. I've been just slowly purging little things here and there. So, but I'm lucky I went in there because I found those glow AB drills. And I think there's some square metallics in there too, from I don't know where. So I might try to find a use for those on Astronomer as well. And then once I'm done with that kit, I'll probably just throw all that away. Because if I am going to enhance a square kit in the future, it'll probably be with the Sparklers for Squares from Tmall. So I don't really need any of the other stuff. So anyway, so we've got that. Come on, come on. Here sees a bunny. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. So we've got that going, and then I have Summer by Alphonse Mucha, and Diamond Painting Shop kitted up, not started. So those are my 3 kits that are kitted up, not started. And then I have, as far as kits that have drills down, but I haven't touched, I have my 2 cross-stitch conversions, Moussenet Lob Moose and Darth Vader. No plans on picking those up anytime soon. And then I have Woman in Gold by Gustav Klimt and Diamond Dots. No progress on that since the last time we spoke. And then I have my mystery kit from Jaded Gem Shop that I haven't revealed the artist or the image yet, but it is as of today, it's halfway done. So I got a bunch of work done on it over the past couple of nights after work and made some good progress on it. So yeah, it's halfway done. So we're getting there. And take a look at Instagram for any update photos that you might want to take a look at. But yeah, that one's moving and grooving. So we've got those. And then the last two I have going are Bewitched by the Creativity Squirrel. That's a round drill. I think it's like 60 by 80, something like that. Bewitched, and I haven't made any progress on it. I think since the last time we spoke, I'm done with one row along the bottom. And then today I got a wild hair, and not necessarily a wild hair, there was a reason for it, but I decided to kit up Flower Buns by Yume Art, which is one of the Cyber Monday releases from just a couple of weeks ago. So I ended up kitting that up and starting on it today. I just got like the first little section done today before we came out for our walk. So come on. I guess I'm not even done with the first section, but I started on the first section. I basically kitted it up and put a few drills down, and then that was that. I was like, all right, let's go for a walk now. And I went ahead and I added 9 enhancement drills to that on top of what's already there. So I think the kit came with, come on, let's keep moving forward, buddy. What's going on today? What's your deal today? He's like, I need to run like 10 miles is his deal. I'll probably take him tomorrow after work. Come on. I'll probably take him tomorrow after work to the open space and maybe wait till a little bit later so there's less dogs out there, and we're just gonna have to sprint because he's over it. So yeah, I added some enhancement drills. I think it came with, I want to say 3 ABs, 1 iridescent drill, and then 2 fairy dust. I think that's right. And then I came in and added, I think, 2 more ABs. Come on. 2 ABs, 1 metallic, 1 metallic, is that right? I think so. 2 ABs, 1 metallic, and then 6 sparklers, 6 different sparklers from DP with Sparklers. I think that's right. It might be 3 ABs and 5 sparklers, but definitely 1 metallic was added. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that one works up. It's my first time ever using fairy dust drills, and I like them. They add like a soft enhancement to it, so I can see why Diamond Art Club charted them to be part of the background colors, because they add just kind of like a soft effect or glisten, as opposed to like an AB that's really got that sheen to it. So I kind of like them. I didn't know how I felt about them when I first saw them, when I started doing unboxings and started seeing fairy dust drills included. I wasn't 100% sure how I felt about them, but they definitely grew on me. I like them. I'm using a, come on. I'm using a white fairy dust right now, and I really like that. Apollo, what? I think he's scared of this snowman. Come on. What's wrong? He keeps trying to go out into the street, and I'm like, what? Why are you trying to run away from me? And then I tried to pull him back towards the sidewalk. He was like, no, sir. So he was scared of the snowman. It's okay. Come on, stay on this side. You're okay. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm excited to see how those enhancements come together. I kind of picked a few areas that I was like, it would be nice to enhance this area. But at the end of the day, I just looked at the colors as I was kitting it up. And then I pulled out my specialty drills and just kind of matched the colors and just made sure that I would have enough of the sparkler to cover it, or, you know, to replace it fully. So part of it was strategic based on the image. Part of it was just like, what do I have that I can use? So it was just kind of somewhere in between. The only color that I'm a little on the fence about is I selected a black metallic to replace the 310 that's there. However, a lot of times 310 is used to create an outline around an image or a border, and I've tried doing that with metallic before and it just throws it off. I think it was beautifully broken. I replaced some of the black with a metallic black, which is really just silver. And I didn't love it. So I'm gonna try to be a little bit more strategic about how I use the black metallic, because she has some in her shirt as well. So I'm gonna see if any of that is used as detailing. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it, and if I can throw those metallics in there, I will. Otherwise, whoa, something's up. What's going on with you? He seems very worried and very like on edge right now. Oh, there's a bunny right there. Maybe that's why. So yeah, I may end up not using them at all, just depending. But I have them kitted in there just in case. The black enhancement drills are always hard to work into a kit. Like 310 AB kind of creates a bluish kind of tinge to the black, so that's kind of hard. And then metallic black, quote unquote, it's a black drill, but it's got like a metallic silver foil on top, so it's not really black. So it's not as easy to swap 310 for like an AB or a metallic or a crystal. It's a little different. But yeah, so all of that is to say, I added yet another whip to my pile, but that one's like a 50 something by 50 something. So I think I'm gonna get that done in a few weeks. If I'm hammering on it, I should be able to knock that out by the end of the year and get one more finish in. That would be nice. But the real reason that I ended up selecting that kit and just going for it is I have just been struggling with some of my round kits recently. And I'll preface this just by saying, I love, respect, care about all of the small shops to the moon and back, and I'll do everything I can to lift them up and show them some love, all of that stuff. Any company, big, small, whatever. And I've also been really lucky enough to have some small shops send me things to unbox, so I am grateful and really appreciative for that too. That being said, I still have to be very transparent and honest about my experience with these products, no matter what the circumstance was that led to me getting that. Like, I'm not going to just gloss over things or pretend I'm not having a problem. I will always try to be very analytical about it and I'm not trying to grab a megaphone and be like, there's a problem here. But if I do notice something, I'm going to investigate it and speak to it and share it with you all. And I hope that all the shops that I interact with or that are so kind enough to send stuff over to me have a clear understanding of that, support that, and just take feedback with its intention and all of that good stuff. I'm not really too worried, but I just don't ever want to put shops that have either sent stuff to me or we're doing spotlights or whatever, I don't want to put them in a place where they feel like, oh wow, like he doesn't like our stuff, or this is going to discourage other people from buying it. That's not at all my intention. And I really hope that you as listeners or watchers would also understand that too. Like, things always evolve, things change, and And I think it's worth giving small shops and companies a shot to experience stuff for yourself too. As much as you read reviews and watch unboxings and stuff, your mileage may vary based off of your diamond painting style, what you like, what you don't like. This is just my feedback, what I'm seeing so far, and I'll absolutely reach out to the shops if I haven't already and had a discussion. I always reach out and just be like, hey, this is something I've noticed. That way, when it comes time for me to do my finish and review, I can speak to it. So even though I'm experiencing some trouble right now, there might be a resolution by the time I finish it or by the time there's another update. But I typically won't ask a shop beforehand. Like, I'm not going to reach out to the shop, be like, hey, I'm, running into this issue right now, and I'm about to go on a walk with Apollo, and it's something that I want to bring up. Do I have your permission? I don't do that. I just speak freely, and if I need to, once I talk to the shop, get some feedback and update, then of course I will let you all know in turn. So just keep that in mind. Preamble, covering my butt. I love that deck on that house. Gorgeous, and all the glass. Oh, whew, beautiful. I'm sure that's expensive to keep warm. We're just going up this hill. We've been up here a bunch of times, so let me climb up before I try to huff and puff and talk. I'll go down this way. Okay. This says no outlet, but just for the sake of adding some more time to our walk and length, let's go see if anyone's got Christmas lights. Whew. Oh. Every time that hill gets me, Apollo. But yeah, this is the kind of neighborhood that I would love to live in, like well-grown in trees, established trees, create a little bit of privacy and a sense of neighborhood. It's ideal. Come here. You've got a little wreath. That's cute. That seems to be the only house that's got something legitimate. Our house has nothing. But yeah, I just like these older style of homes. Yeah, I've always, until I moved to Golden and then here, and like one other place I lived at in my past, I've always lived with people that have houses in like new build communities. And so like new construction, so like the trees still have their little supports and the sod is still, trying to get set up and all that stuff. And I just feel like, in 30 years, 40 years, yeah, those neighborhoods will come together. They're also almost always completely flat. Whereas like, at least here in Colorado, whereas like here, when you're kind of getting close to the foothills, you have like hills and valleys, and there's just so much more character. So I like living in these types of neighborhoods. But anyway, it's like totally dark. You're probably like, what are you talking about, Anthony? Okay, so let's get to it. So, having said all that, just talking about my experience, I wanted to grab a round drill specifically from Diamond Art Club because I have been noticing some, whether you want to call it spacing or gapping or whatever it is, in my round drill kits that are resin, the resin round drill kits, the past couple that I have worked on, I've just been noticing more gapping than I'm used to. Now with a round, it's not necessarily the end of the world because you're always gonna see the canvas behind the round drill, at least a little bit of it, as opposed to a square. When you have that issue, gapping can be very apparent. But with a round, it's not necessarily that big of a deal, but it does start to become a little bit of a problem if you're used to placing your drills and having them sit right up next to each other. If you're used to that and you're diamond painting like that on a canvas that has something going on like that, you end up with like big chunks of gapping and issues like that. Like the spacing just gets kind of wild. And so I noticed a little bit of it when I was working on Fishbowl from Francesca Studio Works. Nothing like major, but I just felt like I was having to pay more attention to how I was placing the drills and spending a little bit more time straightening out drills after I was done placing. And mainly in the form of like, I would multi-place like 5 drills and then I'd have to like spread them out just a teensy bit. That way, by the time I got done with that area, they weren't all pushed up against one side or too high or too low. I felt like I was doing a little bit of work to make them look a little bit more even on the canvas. And so I noticed that. Apollo, come on. You don't have to stop at every single thing. So I noticed a little bit of that. We're okay on battery. I noticed a little bit of that. I mentioned it to Francesca, and I was like, I don't know if it's the drills are smaller than other colors, because sometimes it felt like certain colors I was running into that issue. I don't know. So I was like, I'm not sure if it's like the 310 or these particular colors in my head feel smaller because I'm just running into this spacing or, you know, this issue. And so she was able to look into it and confirm that the drills are all the same size. So I was like, okay, that's fine. It could be a trick of the eyes, you know, whatever. Totally understandable. And sometimes when you look at drills a certain way, like shadows are cast or reflections and stuff, so it can make it look a little bit weird. But when I'm looking dead on without my overhead light or anything like that, I still notice some areas that I wish either I would have placed my drills better or, you know, something could have been done to adjust that, but nothing major, nothing to stop me from finishing that project. Like I cranked through that thing, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So finished that kit, good to go. Come on. No problems with that one whatsoever. And then once that was done, I started working on Bewitched from the Creativity Squirrel. So started working up that one, and pretty much right away, I noticed the same thing. But I feel like this time it's even more pronounced. The amount of space that is left after I'm done finishing, even like a smaller section. And I'd say this is with the majority of the colors that I'm working with. But of course, when I have big sections of color blocking, it really rears its head. So I've spent even more time spacing them out. Like if I was to single place them, this is how I feel. I feel like if I was to single place them and get them dead center on the symbol, the drill would have space around it. Like it wouldn't be touching the other drills. Like that's what I'm noticing. So I'm gonna keep pushing through, but I will say, to be completely honest, and I know Bex over at Creativity Squirrel listens to these vlogs and stuff, so I hope it's okay to be candid. And like I said, we'll discuss, we'll discuss, and you know, and if it's something that I can adjust, if it's something that I need to adjust on my end, or I just need some more information, I'm open to it. This is just what I'm seeing today. Is it has kind of kept me from like pushing to make more progress on that kit. Like I've been going slower with it just because I don't know, I'm just having to take more time to like straighten them or like space out my drills, and I'm not completely in love with how it looks today. So that's just the honest opinion. And it doesn't mean that other people will be like, what are you talking about? It's completely fine. This is me being pretty picky for sure, but it's something that I'm noticing, and I think it's worth kind of talking through it. So yeah, I kind of pressed pause on that kit, not completely, but I finished that bottom row. At first I did like a couple sections and I'm like, what? Is this just me? And I was like, let me keep going, let me finish the row and then stand back and take a good look. And yeah, it's just, I'm noticing that there's just a little bit more space than I'd like to see around the drills. Personally, I think aside from, let's turn around. Aside from my placement, that stuff, there's still something there. So I don't know what it is. If I had to guess, if it's not the drills being different sizes, which I don't think it is, I really think that it comes down to the drill field and the symbols that have been printed. I think they're just a little too big for these resin drills that everyone's starting to utilize. I don't know if maybe the manufacturers have kept their printing the same, like, their symbols are the same, and then when they switch to these resin drills, which I don't know if they are smaller than an acrylic drill or something's going on, but it's just making the canvases feel too big for the drills that you're putting on them to a different degree. I think my experience with Fishbowl wasn't as pronounced as it has been with Bewitched. So it's just an observation. I'll definitely, as soon as I get home from this walk, I'll message Bex and just be like, hey, it's something that I've noticed. And, I did mention it on a vlog just conversationally, but if you have any more information for me, I'm absolutely willing to take that in and share that too. And shops continue to evolve and change. So maybe it's something that just needs a little bit of refinement from manufacturers. But if I got to pick what happened in that case, I would ask a manufacturer to tighten that drill field for their rounds just a little bit. So I wanted to prove to myself that I wasn't crazy, because I was like, I don't think I've experienced this with other shops, or some other shops. So of course I grabbed a Diamond Heart Club round, their resin rounds, latest printing of their the flower buns is a recent image. So it's like, this is probably the most up-to-date drills and canvas that you can get from Diamond Art Club. And it's different. It's different. The rounds are right up against each other on all four sides. Some minimal gapping here and there where I've multi-placed like little spaces, but the look is very different. And so I just needed to see it with my own eyes, so I wasn't crazy, because I'm like, I'm not diamond painting any differently. I'm not changing, the pen I use or the placer or the putty or my hand movements or anything. Like, I'm still me. I'm still diamond painting just like I was yesterday on a different kit, but the drills just seem a lot more, they're just tighter, more uniform. It looks like I'd prefer it to look. So I just had to do that little test, so I didn't feel like I was blowing a whistle on something that isn't real or in my head. There's definitely something, I think it's gotta be the size with which the canvases are being printed. for some of these shops that are using resin rounds. They're just a little too big. So, at least in my opinion. And that's the only thing that I can point to, unless I really am that biased towards DAC and just completely off my rocker. But it looks different. And then I grabbed Woman in Gold from Diamond Dots, and those also are resin rounds and just look a little bit more uniform and closer together, in my opinion. Keep in mind, Woman in Gold, I'm single placing the majority of that kit because the amount of confetti that's there with the different golds. So that could lead to more precise placement because I'm not really multi-placing in that one. But still, the look is cleaner. And I went back and looked at, because I was like, I think I had this issue with Moon Thief from Diamond Art Club. And I took a really good look at that, and nope, that one still looks better. And then I looked at an even older kit, and I don't know if Diamond Art Club was using resin rounds at this point, so maybe this is an invalid data point, but I also looked at Astrid from Mike Angelina, and that one looked tighter. And taking a look at my recent finish of City Dreams from West Reader, that's an acrylic, but you know, just as a point, just for reference, those acrylic drills are much more neatly together. So I don't think it's it's easy to compare resin to acrylic shop to shop, because each shop is going to have a different, you know, potentially a different manufacturer or different request for their printing, sizing, and stuff. So it's not apples to apples across the board, but from an experience standpoint, that's where a regular consumer is that's what they're gonna care about, is there gapping or is there not, you know? I don't think a lot of like regular crafters, you know, everyday folks are gonna be doing a deep dive or really thinking about like, okay, well, where are they getting manufactured from, and what's their drill size? What's their symbol size? They're just gonna see that and be like, oh, there's gapping on this, I don't like it. And that's what I would hope to, you know, provide this information not only to other viewers, but to shop owners, because I don't want people to just jump to those conclusions of like, well, I don't like this shop because blah, blah, blah. Like, if there's an opportunity to maybe even have a manufacturer send a sample to a shop owner with a tighter drill field for the rounds, and see what that looks like, if they notice any adverse effects like popping or crowding or stuff. But I just have to believe that it's not in my head. And I was even thinking about like taking pictures to be like, see, but that's not the vibe I want to give off. I'm giving my experience. Maybe I'll share some photos with the shop owners and see what they think, but these aren't companies that have already responded to me saying, you're crazy, it's your computer settings, or, you know, it's your eyes. Have you gotten an eye exam this year? Like, DIY Moonshop made me feel like I was just like blind or my computer was broken. So like, I'm not, okay, sorry, battery died, but we've got a backup. So yeah, from a customer service standpoint, these shops so far that I've tried these resin rounds from outside of like DAC and Diamond Dots have treated me very, very well. So I have no, you know, I'm gonna just kind of see how the conversations go. Just be very transparent. If they ask for pictures, Bex, if you need pictures, let me know. But yeah, and once again, it's not a deal breaker. It's still not a deal breaker for me. It was just more of, I need to look into this a little bit more. And it's just a kit that I have to pay a little bit more attention with, I think, when I'm working on it. So yeah, not deal breakers, but something to share. What else was I gonna say? And resin rounds are fairly new to the mainstream distribution through like smaller shops and stuff. I think for a long time, Diamond Art Club was really the only one that had them ready to go in prepackaged kits. I'm sure you could find them from a supplier and get them a la carte, but to get them just in a ready to go kit, Diamond Art Club was kind of in that realm alone, along with Diamond Dots. And then Jaded Gem Shop kind of jumped in and was the first one of the smaller shops that I knew of that had resin rounds, and also could get them for you a la carte too. So, and having said that, I have used Jade's resin rounds a la carte on a DIY Moon Shop canvas. So I haven't seen her prepackaged round kits, what that drill field looks like if I see a similar or the same issue, or a thing that I've been noticing. I haven't done that yet. So now I'm thinking, gosh, do I need to add yet another whip, a ninth one, or I don't even know how many I'm at anymore, but do I need to add yet another whip to kit up a round drill from Jaded Gem Shop? That way I can have another point of comparison. We'll see. I might finish Flower Buns first, because I think that one's gonna go really fast, and then I'll kit up a Jaded Gem Shop. Because now I'm curious of like, what's the relationship between the drill and the drill field that's being printed, and do manufacturers, how much wiggle room do they leave for people who aren't placing super accurately, and what's the tipping point between like giving some people some breathing room and there being too much, you know? For people like me, I don't know if I just am used to placing my drills kind of tightly, but it's throwing me off. It's throwing me off. So that must mean that there's something going on. I wouldn't say anything if there wasn't an issue. Something's messing with me. Hold on. See that cat? Yesterday when we went on our walk, there was a cat meowing next to one of the fences that we walk by, and it just like looked right at Apollo and was just meowing, and I was like, oh, well, Apollo will jump at it, it'll scamper off, you know? But no, this cat, Apollo, what the heck? Come on. This cat ran right up to him, was getting all in between his legs, around his legs, giving him little nuzzles, and Apollo was losing his mind. He was like jumping and like, you know, scampering around, getting in his play bow, and just was so thrown by this cat, the audacity of this cat to just like come up and just get all up in his stuff. And no matter how much he jumped or like tried to like nip at the cat just was like, nope, deal with it, we're cuddling right now. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen, but the cat did have a collar. I didn't see a little, oh my God, hold on, I've gotta drag this dog. Dude, stop it. I had to like, wait, where was I going with that? I got totally distracted. Yeah, the cat was just all over him, just like under him, around his legs, rubbing up against him, giving him little nuzzles, and he was like not having it. But anyway, so I was like, all right, let's go. So we tried walking away. The cat was like kept following us. And on the other side of the fence is the apartment complex, or one of them. So I was like, let's go around the fence, walk back into the apartment complex, because that's where the cat came out from, and see if its owner is calling for it or looking for it. And it did have a collar. I didn't see a tag on the collar, but it definitely had a collar. So it wasn't like a just whatever, off you go, like a stray, I don't think. And even so, I'm not one to take a stray. Like, that's somebody's cat, you know, like, even if they let it get outside or whatever, it's probably somebody's cat. So I'm not one to be like, whoop, finders keepers. Like, if it was snowing and freezing or something like that where the cat was going to be in peril if I didn't do something with it, then maybe I'd bring it home and put it on next door, or I don't know what I'd do. I've never done it before, and I usually just walk away. I don't know. Never been in that situation. Don't know what I'd do. But we did walk back around the fence, and the cat just followed us the whole time and was like meowing and running up next to Apollo, and Apollo was just like not into it. He didn't understand. He was like, what? You're supposed to run away from me. And so we kind of walked through the apartment complex, and then at a certain point the cat just veered off into one of the like buildings. And so I was like, okay, it knows where it's at. It must just be either an outdoor cat or at least knows where its home is. Because I've never seen that cat out there, and we walk by there like pretty much every day. I'd say like 5 out of the 7 days of the week we walk by there, and I've never seen that cat. So, but it seemed like it had a pretty good handle on things. Like, it wasn't a kitten, it was like fully grown, had enough gumption to come up to a strange dog. Apollo, sit. Can you sit? Come on, buddy. All right, let's try again. We can't cross the street till you sit down. Sit. Okay, let's try again. You're not getting off the hook. All right, sit. Sit. Good boy. Stay. Yeah, so that cat had was a spunky little thing, and that's kind of why I liked it. I was like, yeah, you don't get intimidated by this brat dog who just wants to pounce and jump and stuff. Like, get in there and show him that you're not afraid to cuddle up on him. So that's what, there was just a tinge of like, oh, this might be a cat that's super compatible with Apollo. Not putting up with any, you know, not giving him the satisfaction. But I was like, no, this is somebody's cat. So now we've got to find our own cat that has a similar mentality of like, yeah, you're not gonna scare me, dude. But anyway, we're just a couple blocks from the house. I'm gonna try to find myself some kind of meal for dinner. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, chat, provide a little update on what's going on with me so far this week. And yeah, just talk candidly about my experience with some of the products that I'm using. And hopefully I did it in a way that was respectful of the shops or, you know, of businesses, and wasn't overblown or exaggerated or anything like that. It's just something that I've noticed and something that I'll talk to the owner or owners. I'm sure it'll, you know, things will pop up in the future, talk to them about. So yeah, all right. So that's that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with family members, friends, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Otherwise, happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.